Oh my gosh. I gotta clean the living room. Oh.
Hello friends, and welcome back to She's in Her Apron. Alright, Deric is joining me today, or I should say tonight. It's like 10:30 and the kids are asleep, and we thought we would do the follow-up to the kids' zones. You guys asked a lot of questions and we're gonna answer them the best that we possibly can. So if you don't know what we're talking about, go check out the video from the other day. I'll leave a link. It's an updated on the kids' chores, their zones. I've shared before videos on our chores with the kids. This was just an updated version because my oldest daughter, our oldest daughter is at college. So the whole point of the zones was to teach them responsibility and pick up that area. Like, you're in charge of this area this week. So if anything's out of place, put it away. It's just maintaining so the house doesn't blow up. But there's times when the house does blow up. And
That, and sometimes they just need some direction. Maybe they're lost or frustrated. They just are overwhelmed of, I have to pick up a pair of shoes and put them away. And so you just sort of help them take little bites at a time.
there are rules to the zones. Like, everything has to go to its home. You can't throw something into somebody else's zone. And that was like,
Yeah,
that was a big discussion we had with the kids. Like, okay,
when we first started zones, the kids quickly went to shove into your spot. It's your problem now.
yeah. So we sat down and go, okay, what are some rules that we should make with it? And I think it was Jonah that said, no putting things in other people's zones. Like Boston, a good example, yesterday. He was cleaning his own and he found a hand towel and he threw it down the stairs because the laundry room's down there. It's just a bad habit we have. We throw laundry down the stairs. And I was like, because the bottom of the landing is zone 3 and that's somebody else's zone. And so I was like, you can't do that. And remember, and he's like, oh yeah. So he went down and put it away. Okay, here is some of your questions. Do the kids have to clean up their own mess / toys, or is it up to the person in charge of the zone to clean up everything?
So it's up to the person that has the zone to make sure the zone is maintained and cleaned. However, say Jonah decided to throw all his school stuff and take off his shoes in the living room and just took off. Boston, who has that zone, he's responsible to pick up Jonah's stuff. He can move it off to the side, so it's nice off to the side. And then when Jonah comes back, Jonah will need to pick up his stuff and put it away. Or if Boston feels like being nice, he can put it away. It's up to him.
Yeah.
So they'll do both. They'll clean the area and sort of put some stuff to the side if people need to get their stuff.
Because when you think about it, they're always picking up after one another. Like, whoever has the bathroom zone, if there was clothes left from the morning, you know, they're always picking up.
And this way the kids are starting to learn of, oh, wow, I really hate it when so-and-so leaves their clothes on the floor in the bathroom all the time. So maybe I won't do that.
Yep.
And it also goes the other way. Well, they took their clothes off and they made it a pain, so I'm going to take mine off.
Yep.
No, it's just a balance. And we get involved in that a lot.
Yeah.
Too, sometimes, to try to make sure there's no fights and stuff. But
Yeah.
they're pretty good with it now.
What do you do if your kids whine and cry and don't do their chores?
There's just consequences. Want to go out and play? You can whine and cry all you want. Sometimes I just have them go whine and cry in the room.
Yep. How do you get your kids to do the chores without complaining or taking forever to do them? I think
we just set deadlines with if there needs to be a deadline.
Yeah.
So like on Saturdays, or if there's something coming up and we got to get some stuff done and we want to have everything done by a certain time. All right, guys, zone's got to be done by this time or this.
Yeah.
See what they do. There's days that they'll be like, oh my gosh, I got to clean the living room. Oh. And it takes all day, but that's their choice. We just try not to get sucked into it. It's really easy to have expectations and just do it.
No.
That's something that's hard for me because I'm like, really? There's like 4 things on the floor. Would you freaking pick it up? But, you know, I just, they'll get to it. And they've actually been getting better over time. They've been realizing, oh, this is really stupid. I still can't really get out of this. So,
how can I get a teenager more involved in the cleaning when they don't see a point of it? That's pretty typical.
It sounds like a teenager to me.
Yeah. Well, I don't see the point of why you need your phone.
Phone's a big one. If your teenager has a phone, the phone's a big one.
I don't see the point of paying for your phone.
Need to get a proper consequence.
Yeah.
And follow through, even though you know it's probably gonna suck following through.
Yeah.
They learn, they get it, and then there'll be sometimes, well, they just don't care.
Yep.
And they have the consequences, and they move
Yep.
on. And a couple of our kids were a little competitive when they were little, so I'd make it into a competition or a game and set that stopwatch. And
Yeah. Oh, the stopwatch.
how fast can you pick up this section of toys or these clothes, or sort of split up what they're going to do and time them or race them and do it with them.
Yeah. You're always good with doing that with them. What age would you start a kid with the zone? I don't know. I mean, we started this how many years ago? And Shaylee was 3 or 4.
Yeah, somewhere in there. You can start them as young as you want. It's just
You
like
showing
with
them.
Shaylee, she had her zone,
Mm-hmm.
but her zone was also done with me or Kimmy or
Yeah. So
a
it was
sibling.
like,
we always did it with them.
and we still had her on the list. She still had the bathroom and house garbage, and she just did it with us. And so we were like, this is what you do. Try it, you know. And we just, so that way she got used to doing it. I have little kids, ages 5 and 2. I'd like them to do something, but what would you start them on?
Same as anybody else. We just had different expectations.
Yep.
We might have broken them down a little bit smaller.
Yeah. I mean, not laundry, like washing, you know, doing the laundry. But it was like, hey, I folded these clothes for you. Go put them in your drawer. Things like that.
You can also break them down to, instead of just having a zone like we have it now where it's dining room, living room, you can actually break it down into like fun pictures or cartoons of here's the living room with some garbage with it, so they can sort of check the box off as they go. That helps them the littler they are, so they can sort of see and it's broken down for them.
You know, when Shaylee was like little, she would stand on a chair by the sink and would just wash the same cup over and over again. Remember that? And she would stay there for like a good 30 minutes and play in the water and just wash the same cup. And so just get them practicing. Give them a cloth, a little duster, and they could go around just dusting. That's easy.
You just tell them to
Get them a wet cloth and say, just go wipe stuff, you know? That's what Shaylee did. I would give her a wet Enviro cloth, and I was like, go clean. And she would wipe walls. She'd walk over and wipe something down. So it was just the getting used to it. Do they really do it? As I find it difficult to get them to do it daily. They do it. Do they do it every day?
No.
No.
Do we try?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yep. If there's time in the mornings where we're not rushing and we've got extra time, it's like, okay, go make your bed or go pick up your zone. Like tonight, I was out exercising, so it doesn't look like they did their zones tonight.
They started.
Yeah.
It's bedtime in school tomorrow, so
Yeah. So
we'll just have more to.
So there's stuff here, okay, like this zone here. I'm seeing shoes over here, bags, sweater. So what will happen is tomorrow morning, if we have time and we're not rushing, before they leave for the bus, it's like, okay, are you ready for school? Okay, pick up your zone. And there's times where I just clean the house. I just clean, and that was one of the questions, like, I just clean, but there's still plenty for them to do in their zone. Okay, if your kids clean all the zones in your house, what zones are left for you and Deric to clean?
None. The house is done. This is why we had children.
Oh, snap.
No, there's lots to clean. We're always helping and picking stuff up. We fill in all the gaps, which is a lot.
Yes,
So-
I know a lot of people are like, holy crap, that's so detailed. Some of these details take like literally 30 seconds. Like the bathroom, if they're keeping an eye on it when they get home from school, if they see something on the floor, they could pick it up and put it in the laundry basket. Wiping down the counters, they could do that before they go to school, after like they brush their teeth. Or when they get home from school, they'll wipe down the counter and wipe down the mirror. It literally takes like no time.
Just grab the cloth and just...
Yeah. And like wipe down the toilet, swish the toilet, empty the garbage to the main kitchen garbage. There are days they don't hit all those. Just do something to maintain. If you see something that needs wiped down, wipe it down. But this is a guide.
Toilet, if there's no reason to switch the toilet.
And I do that part as my morning routine. This is a guide for them. Now, the older kids are better at doing this. Callie was really good at hitting all of these. But it's a guide for them. And so, but the 1 day a week,
they need to hit them all.
They need to hit them all, because that's when we switch the zones. So they can either deep clean on Friday and Saturday, depending on what we got going on. And so it's more of a deep clean. Like, you know, when you were a kid and Saturday mornings you deep clean the house, that's exactly what it is. But it won't take them long to do because they've maintained the bathroom. I mean, they are not cleaning long at all, honestly. How long would you say, like on a daily basis, that they're in their zone cleaning?
Well, it depends on the mood they're in.
Yeah.
It could take them all day.
Night.
They can get home from school, do their homework, start working on their zone, sit around for 2 hours, and then go, I want to go play.
Mm.
Well, time's up. Playtime's over.
Yeah.
Or they just get to it, and they just pick up a few things and run the vacuum real quick, and off they go.
I don't expect them to be my little slaves and clean my house so I can do nothing. That's not how it is. It's just a teaching tool.
And we try to make sure that as Kimmy and I make messes through the house, that we're picking up our messes. If I leave my shoes in the living room, or if my coat's hanging on the railing in the entryway or something, I need to make sure I pick that up. We need to try to set that example of, look, if everybody's keeping their own stuff clean, everything pretty much stays clean.
Mm-hmm. How do you train your children to do the different zones?
And how long before they're independent?
It took a little while once we introduced it.
Each kid's different though.
Yeah, they would, in the beginning, they would take their sheet and, okay, so here's zone 1, and they would hold it or have it in the room with them, and they could go and look to see what they need to do. So Jonah was really, really good about that. He would take this and he would have it with him in his zone, and he would look. And so, but now they're used to it, and if they get stuck, it's like, go look and see what you have. Like, so I don't have to, the whole point of this was so I wouldn't be like hovering over them, or they wouldn't have to ask me a ton of questions. Of course, Shaylee I need to help her with and stuff, but that's the whole point of this. Do
the kids get an allowance and be able to buy a treat or something they like at the end of the month? So that comes to sort of the consequence thing. So we've set up an allowance system. We sort of struggled with this over time because there's been the whole... I was raised with, you live here, you do it. We want our kids to learn about money and finances.
And how to manage the money.
And so we've tried to set up a system to where they get a default amount depending on their age, because depending on their age and what they can do, we have different expectations. And it's not like it's a lot.
No.
But we do add extra things on there.
We call it Parents' Choice.
So,
and I'll actually do another video on this. I'll film it in the morning for you guys, and I'll share it. We just started this over the summer. It was like a test run.
And we've done different types.
Yeah.
But this one seemed to work the best when it comes to allowances.
Yeah. So I will share it with you. I'll do a video on it. I promise I'll get it out as soon as I can. What time of the day do you find works best to get it done? After homework, after dinner, right when they get home? It's kind of like, it depends on their mood when they walk. I know when they walk in.
It's not the time right after school.
There's times they come home from school so tired and so stressed or whatever that it's like, okay, they need a minute to like
have a snack,
chill. They could watch some TV, unwind. And then after that, it's like, okay, because that's when they want to play with their friends. So it really, I don't say after school you have to get this done.
We like to have it done by dinner.
Yeah, because after dinner we're doing the whole bed routine. There's some nights the zones don't get done because we're at practice or whatever, and homework comes first. So we just kind of go with the flow and see how they're feeling, and because honestly I don't want the fight. I just kind of pick my battles and go, all right, well, you know.
The fight comes later when they haven't done it for days and you've asked them to for days and they want to go do something and they can't. That's when the fight comes.
Yep. How did you decide what chores need doing?
Well, we went through all the chores we hated doing and we put those in the list. We just divided up the house.
Yeah.
That's basically what it was.
Yeah.
This is the stairway and the family room downstairs, and our living room and the dining room is right next to each other. So we just sort of split it up into zones.
Mm-hmm. And I adapted it from the Fly Lady system of zones, and I was like, okay, what needs to get done? Like light switches. And I just kind of looked around in that area of the home and go, what would I like to have done in here to maintain, like what do I do on a week,
So, and the big thing is it's not perfect. We're not perfect.
Mm-mm.
We're good at it sometimes. We're not good at it other times.
Yeah.
You find what works best for you and your family and your kids.
But honestly,
my sister's a lot stricter with her kids, and
yeah.
they are very, boom, she's a lot more like my family was growing up. And we try to stick with it and get on it, but we do it differently.
Mm-hmm.
So just figure out what works best for you guys. But it is great when your kid moves out and is living with other people, and she comes back and she goes, "Ugh, no one's cleaning their stuff." I keep my room clean, I try to keep the kitchen clean, and my roommates just make a mess and they'll pick up their stuff. It just makes me feel so good inside. My daughter knows what it feels like.
Okay,
But she's learned. She learned. We did something and she learned something.
It's true.
It's awesome. It's amazing our kids learn things with all the mistakes we make.
One of the comments on the video was, you have Callie clean when she comes to visit. She has her own apartment to take care of. No, what I meant was when she's here, like on break, or when she's here for Christmas vacation, or when she comes home from the summer, we'll find a way to implement it. Callie is great at helping out. I don't expect her when she comes to visit to pick up her broom and clean. Like, no, that's not what I meant. I meant when you're living here, you can help. When she's here for Christmas break, if she decides to stay the full 2 weeks, sure, but she'll help out. She's great. If I say, hey, Callie, can you help me with this? That's what I meant. Not like, hey, I know you have your house, you moved out, but I still would like you to clean my house. No.
Some of you have brought up that it seems like Kimmy does all the cleaning, which may defeat the purpose of the chores because she's just cleaning up behind everybody. That's not accurate. She's making videos, so she'll pick something to make a video from.
Yep.
So now Kimmy does do more of the deep cleaning. The kids take part in the deep cleaning once a week for their zone, but Kimmy will be the one that really gets in there with the fine-tooth comb and like chisel that tile in the shower, or and the kids, as they get older, they help with that. But
I don't expect perfection from them. It's just they're learning, and that's the whole point of it.
And the kids love it when Kimmy goes, "Hey, by the way, in the kitchen,
Just leave
whoever
that
has
there."
the kitchen zone today, don't touch it. I'm gonna clean it for my video."
They love that.
And they're like, "Yes, my zone got picked." Woo! And
Yeah,
so
they do.
it's a balance there. It's fun, but the kids do a lot more than people get to see.
But this, you guys, seriously, for our family, has been the best system we've done. We've done the ticket thing. We've done a lot of different things. But this one, honestly, has been the only thing that has stayed consistent. And we love it. So it works for our family. So you just got to find what works for you, what your kids will respond to.
And we're altering it as we go, right? Callie moved out, and so we just took the existing zones and we sort of split it out amongst 3 kids instead of 4 kids.
Oh, that was the other question of what happens if Jonah leaves? Will Boston and Shaylee have no?
Well, right now we're looking at with what we split up amongst the 3, and we're watching it. Is this is this too much, or is it not too much?
Yeah.
What do we need to do?
Yeah.
Do we need to split it up so me and Kimmy have a specific zone to go through?
We pick up. We fill in the holes every day.
Well, when we officially started it, Daddy had a zone.
Yeah, you did have a zone.
And so, but that didn't make sense at the time.
No, it didn't.
But we shift and go as we need to.
Yeah, but just find what works for your family. This has been the best thing that we've done for our family. It's really clicked, and it took a while, but it really has clicked, and it works for us. It does.
It works great.
It
We
does.
don't have to do anything. Our kids do everything.
They do everything.
They're
They
perfect.
really are.
They're amazing.
They are. So I hope that helped you, and you could see a glimpse of what we do. The whole point of your kids doing cleaning and pitching in is to contribute to the household and learn. That's what they're doing. They're learning how to do this for when they finally leave the nest and get out into the real world. So I would just say, don't expect perfection, and praise them for the job that they did do, because it's overwhelming and it's hard, and I hated being knowing that I didn't do a job good enough when I was little. So thank them, praise them for the work that they did do, because it'll build confidence in them, and that's the whole point. We're here to teach them.
We're not here just to enforce consequences and
We're here to teach.
correction.
Yeah.
We're here to teach.
Yep. It is late now. It is now 11 o'clock at night. We're gonna go to bed.
Whatever. Night's just started.
I'm
This
going
is
to bed.
when the party starts.
I know.
It is such an exciting party, by the way.
Let's go to bed.
Yeah.
Let's go to bed. All right. Thank
time.
you so much for joining us today. We will see you soon. And I will get that video soon of how we did the allowances for the summer, and if we're going to tweak it, if we're going to keep doing it. So stay tuned. Thank you so much, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Doodles.